अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। मैं हूँ आपकी मेज़बान उज़मा खान और आप देख रहे हैं हमारा बहुत ही अहम शो सिस्टर्स कॉर्नर। और सिस्टर्स कॉर्नर में लेके आती हूँ आपके लिए एवरी सैटरडे 5 o'clock ओनली ऑन IQRA TV। इस प्रोग्राम में मेरी कोशिश ये होती है कि बहुत सारी ऐसी ख़वातीन को सामने लाया जाए जो कि रोल मॉडल हैं, स्पेशली हमारी एशियन कम्युनिटी के लिए, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के लिए, ताकि जो ख़वातीन, जो सिस्टर्स हमारे घर पे बैठी हुई हैं, उनको मोटिवेशन मिले और उनकी भी हौसला अफजाई हो। ज़िंदगी हमें मुख्तलिफ़ स्टेजेस से लेके जाती है, मुख्तलिफ़ मराहल से हम गुज़रते हैं, लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि जो कि किसी न किसी तरफ से अपने लिए कोई ना कोई रास्ता निकाल लेते हैं और बहुत ही हार्ड वर्किंग होते हैं। ये नहीं है कि आपने एजुकेशन हासिल कर ली, यू आर सिटिंग एट होम, यू आर नॉट यूटिलाइजिंग योर एजुकेशन, योर डिग्री। उसके साथ साथ यही नहीं बल्कि वो एक सोसाइटी में भी अहम किरदार अदा कर रहे होते हैं, कम्युनिटी के लिए बहुत सारा काम कर रहे होते हैं। आज इसी तरह की एक बहुत ही हार्ड वर्किंग, बहुत ही एजुकेटेड लेडी मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं। I would love to introduce her, but I think I have like not enough words to say a lot about her. So I would go ahead to Fatima Zaman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam, Uzma. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and speak to you today.
I'm honored to have you actually, Fatima. And I know, and a lot of ladies, sisters who are watching the show at the moment, I think they must be knowing you, like who you are. But I would like to say that Fatima is the counselor in South Croydon as well. Apart from that, she is running like 5 care homes as well, and she is helping people with mental health a lot at the moment. So Fatima, ahead to you. Please tell us about your role in politics, tell me about your education, tell me about your experience, tell me about your career. And apart from that, I think you are education ambassador in Pakistan as well?
Yes, for girls' education.
Yeah, girls' education. So where to start?
So thank you so much. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. So when I finished my education, I just wanted to help people. That was something I felt passionate about, not necessarily in the traditional medicine role or any other traditional roles, but I just, so I became a volunteer for Age UK, and I went in to help, elderly who were isolated in their own homes. And I remember speaking to one of my friends about it, and I said, this is wonderful enough, it's great what I do, and I help so many people. And she told me that I could get paid for this work, and I thought that was a dream come true. I thought, wow, I could get paid for just helping people, and I joined the social care industry, and I worked in different sectors, into different environments where I was working with elderly and younger adults in nurseries and learning disabilities. But when I work with adults with mental illnesses, I realised that there was a lot of stigma around it. And if someone's diagnosed with cancer or a physical health issue, there is a lot of empathy and support around it. But as soon as we hear mental health, people think, oh, it's frightening, and it worries them because of, like I said, the stigma around it. So I wanted to help and see what I can do to make a difference, really. And I'll take you back to my first experience 25 years ago. And I was in a hospital, and there was a gentleman, looked quite distressed. He was walking the floor ominously, and the nurses came, and he picked up a chair and threw it through the window, and the nurses came in and restrained him and injected him. And I thought, okay, this is what you do when someone is behaving like that, right? And मैंने फिर काफ़ी और different hospitals में भी काम किया, different environments में काम किया, and I began to believe that this is what you do. अगर कोई distressed है, अगर कोई behaving in a way that looks quite challenging, it's good, pin them down to the floor and inject them, sedate them, and that's what you do. But then eventually, many years later, I was a manager for a care home, and we had a lady who had recently come in, and she was, what was, seen to be challenging behaviour. Every night there'd be incident, sab dar rahe hain, sabko samajh nahi aa raha kya kare. But to me, what was challenging behaviour looked like distress. I thought, she looks like she's depressed. Isko lag raha hai ki jaise koi pareshan hai, right? No one wakes up in the morning and starts thinking, today I'm going to bang my head against the wall until it bleeds, or I'm going to cut myself, So there's obviously a root cause, right? So I said to the staff that next time, she does that, call me. let's try something different.
Yeah.
So she did, obviously, right, as expected. And we said, look, what's wrong? What's going on? Talk to us.
Yeah.
And she talked for 2 hours and then talked about how difficult life had been, and no one understood her. And she talked for a while and then she fell asleep. And I thought, aha, this is so simple, right? We don't have to use the institutional model and sedate people. We can just find out the root cause. So many years later, we opened our own home, which was our family home with 6 brothers and sisters, mashallah. So we had all got married and moved on, etc. So we thought we'd just turn our house into a care home, which we did. And because the model that we use is very non-institutional, but nurturing, caring, a very kind way of working, and our residents started to do well. They started to make progress, and during good incidents, or they started to reduce significantly. Then local authorities think, okay, I don't know what you're doing, but people are getting better and they're making making a positive change in their lives. So the waiting list grew. And mashallah, now we have 5.
Alhamdulillah.
So alhamdulillah, I'm really, passionate about making a difference and not just, imposing control and giving them medication, but empowering them to have their life back, so they can have their life back and have a better quality of life with a bit of control. So that's what I do. But me alone, one person, we can't make a difference. And I would urge other women who feel...
It's a teamwork.
That's it, it's a teamwork. My family, we work together. We have a great staff team who also follow the same model of nurturing and caring and being very kind, right? And alhamdulillah, they're making a difference. So that's what we do.
Yeah. Sometimes ऐसे होता है कि Fatima, we are all the time thinking like maybe restraining or physically is important, but actually some of them, they need to take out their emotions actually. They need to talk, they need to bring out like what is inside going on, and that's it. They are like calm, they are ready to go. And it's not an easy job, working with mental health people, because the thing is, you can deal with the pain, physical pain. You can deal with any disease you can see physically, but obviously mentally you cannot see inside. You have to understand the emotions and go through the, apart from that, obviously, tell me something about politics. How did you come into politics?
Yeah, thank you. So, thank you for asking that very, very important question, because there's quite a stark difference, right, from running care homes to politics. So, of course, I'm not dismissing the use of medication. Medication is also necessary, but it doesn't address the root cause. We are addressing the symptoms, not the cause. So for that reason, I think therapeutic environment is very important. But I alone, like I said, can't make all the difference. So I was quite drawn to politics because I thought, on a larger scale, I can make a difference if I'm part of a larger organisation, institution. So, I would really encourage women to go into politics if they have issues that they feel passionate about. And, there are many parties out there, right? So find which one is, you feel more connected to in terms of your values, and join as an activist, go out there, make it, get engaged, become a counsellor. There are many routes, and I was, part of the Conservative Party, had a lot of support from really incredible, councillors and the mayor and other people in the party locally in Croydon, and they were very, very supportive. I started as an activist, and they were very, very supportive and very kind to me, to be honest, and I felt incredibly supported, and I just thought, this is something I would like to get more involved in, and here I am, really serving the local community.
You're here to change to make the difference.
Absolutely, yes, that's
so.
What it's really about.
You started as an activist, obviously.
Yes.
And how was your experience coming into politics? And a lot of ladies, especially our Muslim women, they are kind of afraid to go into politics.
Yeah.
So how did you come in? Like, what made you to come in the politics?
So I think I think, like I said, you know, if you feel something you feel passionate about, and if you find a party that you feel that your values are aligned to, do join as an activist. Go out there, you know, door knocking, talk to people, go campaigning, canvassing, and speak to the local community that you want to serve. And don't be afraid and don't be shy. You know, if there's something you want to say, you know, as long as you're not being disrespectful, you know, feel confident to speak your mind and say how you feel, and you know, find the right people around you who will support you. And absolutely, I would encourage all women to really, you know, and you know, seeing, having representation, seeing other Muslim women, seeing others also is more encouraging for young girls.
These days, honestly, a lot of Muslim women I can see, especially even males, I can see a lot of Muslim ladies.
Yes.
But not in this area, but like up, I think a little bit outside of London.
Right.
Yeah. Apart from that, obviously, when we talk about, we will mix up, you know, all your roles. When we talk about care homes, a lot of different people comes to you with mental health problems.
Yes.
So what type of people you see mostly? Like what sort of situation they comes into the care home?
Right. Thank you. It's a very important question, I think, especially when it comes to mental health. And as we spoke about the stigma earlier, because that is something, you know, we don't shout out enough about and say, you know, the stigma really should be a bit more normalized, because you know, we all have physical health and mental health. We're born with physical and mental health, and the mental health becomes an illness when we suffer trauma. And when I say trauma, I'm not talking about failing an exam or losing a sports, you know, match, football or a basketball match. It's more significant when there is abuse, where there is neglect, when there is, you know, physical abuse, you know, and what that does, especially in childhood, what that does is this affects our brain development. You know, we need some happy hormones to keep us stable and well, like oxytocin, which is a love hormone. When you're in an environment where your family love and care about you, serotonin, dopamine, you know, when we sleep well, when we eat well, these are the hormones that keep us stable, you know, and keep us going even during difficult days. But when we are being, you know, suppressed, abused, whether it's emotional, physical, psychological, you know, the toxic stress, the anxiety, that's released regularly and on high doses, and that cortisol, the toxic stress, the level goes very much, you know, on a higher end, and the happy hormones are reduced, and that imbalance is what makes physical, mental health a mental illness. And you know, understanding that is very, very important. I just want to add one more thing. You know, mental illness is not a lifelong illness, right? With neuroplasticity, we can change that by eating well, starting to understand the diet, starting to understand the you know, the stress that we have, and having you know, people around us who support us, and of course medication when necessary, but being in an environment that you can start to, you
feel comfortable.
That's right. So it's really, you know, that can
loving, caring, comfortable environment where you can, you know, talk about your problems, and you know that somebody's listening, somebody's caring,
without judgment,
without any judgment, you know. That's another issue. Do you think when we talk about like mental health and physical health, somewhere, you know, physical health is connected with mental health, and obviously if you are not mentally in peace, you know, comfortable with anything, then it does affect you physically. How do you think people in your care home, they are getting affected in their physical health because of mental health?
Yes, it's a very good question actually, because so physical, mental health, mental illness is, you know, of course it's, you know, your brain development is affected to start with, right? Some medication that you might be taking, side effects are quite rife. It can cause constipation, it can cause hypersalivation, it can cause, you know, weight gain. So, you know, it really it causes sedation. So what we do is we encourage them to participate in activities that are physically fit. So going for walks, we encourage them to join the gym, we encourage them to go swimming, yoga, you know, eating well. We started to develop, and we also focus on the interests, so we can build the confidence rather than sitting and dwelling on the past trauma. Of course, we address it in a therapeutic way, but we also want to find ways to build the confidence and explore what is it that really they enjoy. Because when you enjoy something and you do something, whether it's art or an activity or knitting or sewing, and you create a product, you feel quite good in yourself, and that builds your confidence.
Engagement.
Yes, and having someone to talk to when you're having a bad day doesn't mean a bad life. That's my motto, right? We have to, we have a bad day.
We all go through up and down.
Absolutely, and I say that, if you're feeling really, really rough and really quite bad about the day you've had, have a cry, have a sleep, have a coffee. In my case, I love a coffee, and start again the next day. Don't dwell on it too long, and surround yourself with people who will lift you and support you and be kind to you. It's very, very important. We can't take that for granted. The kindness that change it can bring in your life is just phenomenal.
And this is not only because you're sitting here, I'm saying, but truly, and in reality, Fatima, you are a very kind person.
Thank you.
As a person, you're a very good person as well.
Thank you. Yes.
This is all about not kindness, a loving environment, but whatever you are delivering in a correct way. That's really important. So, what do you think? What do you love the most about your roles you are doing at the moment in the community, like as a carer, as a leader, as a counselor, and helping people with education, girls especially. So what do you think, what do you love the most?
Okay, thank you. So that, what I most enjoyable part is seeing progress. That is what really, really inspires me every day. And knowing that, be patient through the bad days. So I'll talk to you some of the things that you said. So as a care home owner, what really satisfies me and really motivates me to keep going is seeing my residents, make progress.
Happy.
When I see them, if someone's, for example, stop drinking, someone stopped taking drugs, someone's stopped having outbursts of anger, but they're actually able to communicate and go out for a nice meal and go and get their nails done, go to a salon, go to the gym, and seeing them from when they came to us and now where they are, that's wonderful. It's just, and some of our residents have made such good progress. They've actually moved on and living independently with very little support.
Wow.
So yeah, it's incredible. It's really lovely for me to see that.
It's a huge success. Actually.
It is really, absolutely. As a counsellor, what really inspires me more so is when people come to my surgery and they have issues and concerns that they want to discuss. So, going through the right channels and addressing them and getting an email to say that it's been addressed. It's lovely to know that I've helped someone, right? So that is something that inspires me into the political arena. And as an ambassador for girls' education, so, we have tens of millions of girls and children in Pakistan who are not in education. I think one of the very few highest number of children out of education. So I became an ambassador for Pakistan Alliance for Girls Education about 3 years ago, and I sponsor 2 schools. And it's really lovely. I've visited them twice. We go there every year. And, they have such high desires and aspirations. And it's quite sad to see that they're very little actually, things they can actually do with it, but making a small impact and a difference, letting them come to school and get educated is wonderful. They will tell me, they say, Baji, maine doctor banna hai, maine teacher banna hai, and opportunities are so little. But agar wo thoda padh lein, thoda seekh lein, the girls, they will make sure that unki betiyan bhi, unke bacche bhi aage badhenge. So it's a big challenge. It's a big
education एक बंदे के लिए नहीं होती है, एक स्पेशली लेडीज के हवाले से बात किया जाए तो वो पूरी एक जनरेशन के लिए होती है, पूरी एक फैमिली की होती है, उससे कनेक्टेड पूरा खानदान होता है। तो मतलब उनके बच्चे अगर माँ एजुकेटेड होगी, पढ़ी लिखी होगी, तो बच्चे आने वाले एक पूरी नस्ल की एजुकेशन होती है, एक so it's really important.
Because we have that saying, don't we? You educate a girl, you educate a nation.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is the goal behind that, really. That's
really good. Obviously, Fatima, it's not an easy job, honestly. All the people are really busy in different things and taking out time for community work and you know, charity work and helping people. It's a big task.
Yes.
You know, it's not easy for many people here. So how do you find, like, when you talk to people and you listen to them, their problems and resolving their problems makes you happy and comfortable. But what kind of a difference still you think you can make or you want to make?
So, I mean, what I want to do is inspire other girls, other women, to say, you know, what if you have a dream, if you have an aspiration, if you have a desire to make a difference and achieve certain goals, you know, don't let anything hold you back. But what I would really recommend is have a good network of people around you. A support network is very important. You know, as they say that it takes a village to raise a child, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, my mum was very, very helpful to me in supporting me and helping me when I was working and looking after my children. And, you know, my husband supports me, like, if I have to go out the weekend. So I have friends around me who might help me with the school run. So don't be disheartened and feel sorry for yourself and think, oh, well, I would do it if I had this person helping me or that person supporting me, or she's lucky. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, she's lucky. There's no such thing as luck. You know, you work hard, you are determined. You know, sometimes, you know, we have goals and we can't reach it, and sometimes it feels very difficult, but don't be disheartened. You know, if A, B, C don't work, you know, you go all the way to Z. Keep trying, you know, stay focused on your goal. So what goal that you have for yourself, what is your vision for yourself, and what difference do you want to make, and if one or two things don't work, you know, keep trying, keep going.
Very good discussion going on, Fatima, and I'm very pleased to have you in my program, but here is a time for a short break. Please stay tuned with us and I'll see you after a short break.